So this is a show I'm really interested in at the moment, and you can maybe guess what it is. It's in its second season, and I'm taking a little bit of inspiration here from it when I do this, but welcome to today's activity, Christmas related, of course, is rewrapping some of those gifts I mentioned yesterday. These really ugly looking ones. Emmy always says, it's not that ugly. No, it's fine. But I'm not happy. I'm not actually rewrapping. She's sitting right there in the corner watching me. So she's not allowed to see the actual gift underneath. So I'm just wrapping over the top. And what I thought I'd do, well actually Emmy's idea, was to talk about a family Christmas story that I have from the past. I have one that's sort of more related to my channel as well, so stick around if you want to hear an interesting Christmas story. Well, it's not that interesting, okay, but I'm going to be wrapping these, so stay tuned. Don't forget, if you're interested in following along with my Vlogmas, very first Vlogmas ever, Vlogmas 2023, then don't forget to subscribe and you won't miss my upcoming next videos. But, you know, technically they're literally one day after another. Well, they should be. That's the idea. You won't miss the moment, you know? The moment that I upload, not necessarily the day. You'll know there's one coming, but you just don't know what time it's coming. See, that's the thing. That's why you should subscribe. So anyway, let's get to the wrapping, huh? So what we've got today is we've got 3 relatively similar sized kind of boxes to wrap, and then 1 large box to wrap. Let's get a better angle because you can't see anything I'm doing on the floor here. So as you can see, I've got my coffee here as well because I'm kind of hungry and it pushes that back. But let's move that out of the way and start cutting. I should really do a bloopers reel just like I used to on my other channel. So we are wrapping with this really nice gold wrapping paper tonight. And this is nice. So all day I've been just like sorting things out on my laptop because there's too much stuff on there, like over 800 gigabytes of files and videos and stuff like that, and there's just not enough space to keep up with the Vlogmas situation. So I had to clear a lot of that out. 9:13 p.m. Still same day, I think. I've got my tape, got my scissors, so let's go. You can't see my head. My head's gone. I don't like it that much, actually. Redo. Alright, finally, let's get started. So, my lovely Christmas story. You know what? Ever since I was a little kid, there was this moment in my life where I have a friend. I still have this friend. One day, I went to his house. He had something I thought was really cool, and it was a remote control helicopter. And I don't know why, but after we flew it a little bit, I mean, it was a little bit annoying because back then, remote control helicopters were still good, but not nearly as good as some stuff today, like with the battery situation. And actually, you know what? I had a different friend who even had like a gas-powered one, which that was kind of interesting. I never saw that run. I always wanted to, but I never got to see him use that. And now that I think about it, it might have been his dad's because it was kind of big and he just maybe played it off as it was his because he was trying to be cool. But yeah, anyway, I always thought they were cool, and I feel like gas was more efficient back then. Maybe, well, still could be today for a helicopter in terms of flying devices. Devices. Flying vehicles, for example. I mean, we still use fuel for airplanes and helicopters now. Back then, batteries weren't that good for the helicopters. The remote control ones. So you used to have to charge them a lot more than you do now. They last a lot longer, especially when it comes to like drones and stuff like those things. Those are really efficient and they last like over 30 minutes. I think back then they lasted like 10-15 minutes. I think it was closer to 10 minutes, 11 minutes maybe. So anyway, he had this helicopter and I was in love with the helicopter. I was a huge fan of it. Ever since that moment, I wanted to get one for Christmas. I wanted it for birthday, Christmas, anytime gifts were being given by my parents, I wanted to get one of those. My parents, they often bought me, when I was younger, they bought me a lot of things. Bought my whole family, my brother, sister, a lot of different gifts. Honestly, I think I told them this, I would have been so happy just to get the helicopter and then nothing else. I don't need anything else. I just want that helicopter. I wanted a remote control helicopter for the longest time, and as I said, ever since that one friend that had the helicopter, and I loved it after that. Every birthday and every Christmas after that I wanted one, and I never got one. I still want one. But now I want to go drone, because they can film stuff and you can do like a VR flying situation with those ones, so that would be really cool to experience. And they last long, and you can pack them up really small and travel with them, so that would be really cool, especially since I do a lot of video stuff nowadays. So I would love to get a drone. But yeah, I wanted a helicopter for the longest time, never got one. And there was a really funny I think it was Christmas one year where my dad, he got me a remote control plane. I couldn't believe it, in the sense that I wanted a helicopter specifically for so long, and then I finally got a plane. I mean, I like the idea of remote controlling things, but I didn't really want a plane. I wanted a helicopter. And the main reason being is because I think at the same time of being interested in the helicopter itself, I was interested in attaching things to the helicopter and then flying them around. Putting like a string or something and hanging like a little, you know those little marine characters or like army characters? You've seen them in Toy Story? Those little toy things. Attaching them to it and like flying it around. I thought that would have been really cool to do, especially as a kid. But instead, I got a plane, and it worked kinda okay, but it didn't go all that well, and I think it crashed, and then my parents ended up returning it because it didn't work properly. As they often don't, I guess, when you don't buy like I don't know if it was a quality item or not, but it was kind of like at this point too where there was something I noticed about my parents, which is that it's hard to explain. The thing I noticed that they do, I don't do because I don't like it. And that thing is to kind of just buy whatever they want. I mean, okay, that's not true exactly. They don't buy whatever they want. They're very good at saving money. That should be made very clear. They're very good at saving money. And because of that, I am good at saving money, I would say. I mean, for the most part. There are things I love to buy. So I can't help it when I have to buy something. Or when I feel the need to buy something, I often buy it. But I don't know, I feel like we're getting off course here. I'm starting to talk a lot about money now. That's not exactly what my intention was. But I don't know, the thing is, basically my parents, I noticed that they'll buy a lot of stuff that they don't necessarily need. They still use it, but they don't necessarily need it, rather than saving for something that is particularly useful, if that makes sense. For example, if I went to the grocery store and I wanted an expensive drink, I would forego buying potato chips and like cookie snacks to get that drink. It's like a kind of a exchange. I would not buy this to buy this. And then I will recognize the quality of this other thing, so I won't buy the lower quality things and buy the high quality thing. So I save here, spend here, and it lasts longer and usually more useful and usually more effective as well. But my parents, they will buy the snacks and the chips and stuff and not buy like the more expensive item, even if it's a better item. So that's a big differing point between my parents and I. But yes, anyway, back to the helicopter story. That ties in, that bit ties into it, because they would buy me a lot of other smaller things that were less expensive than the helicopter, because the helicopter was a more expensive item. And maybe they thought in their minds, I'm just speculating, but why would I get John one like helicopter, and it looks really expensive. I don't want to necessarily buy that. He'll use it one time and forget about it. Maybe they thought that. They're like, oh, I'll get him a bunch of other things so he has a lot of different things to use and play with and stuff. Maybe that's their thought process. So that could be possibly why I never got a helicopter. Because I think back then they were expensive, and I did try to get my dad to purchase one for me. and I would look in the shop, and they were expensive. I do remember that. They were a hot commodity, I guess. So yeah, I never got one of those. And now my goal is to eventually get a drone. This wrapping, honestly, it's not going very well. What is going on here with this? Why can I not do this? Let's go in here, right? I feel like I'm lost now. I actually am lost. How did I do this before? The other side. What? Straight across? You know what? That's not working either. Now I'm ruining the wrapping paper. You know what? I have an idea. Oh, I ripped it. I failed. I'm a failure. This is terrible. You know what? Let's redo this. I'm opening my own present to Emmy. Oh, what is it? Oh my god, it's a poorly, ugly wrapped gift. Oh. Alright, let's start over. I told the whole story and I'm only on number 1. Alright, let's do this again. What is happening here? This is so bad. Alright, how can I... Maybe... I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's try this again.
Time plus.
Huh?
Time plus.
Time plus? What? Name of what?
Time... like doing faster.
Oh yeah, cue the time lapse. Does anyone else find cutting wrapping paper difficult and annoying? Because I feel like that's kind of how I feel about this right now. Take a look at this. This is looking really good now. Check that out. So we're finally almost done with number 1. We did it. Number 1's done. Well, maybe one more piece of tape.
Looks good.
We've done it.
Actually.
Success. 3 more to go.
Oh no.
We got this. Cue time lapse again. I just ripped it with my finger.
Ah!
No! Number 2, done. Number 3. 3. This feels more achievable now that I've got 2 done. And it is 9:43 p.m. This is getting worse and worse. But you know what? We're gonna take it. Onto the final box. Woo! Wow. That's nice. I feel like I can always trust the Sony camera to focus when there's no face in the frame, if you don't turn that face feature off. Let's see how it looks all together. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That is beautiful. Oh, the background's not beautiful. Don't look at that. Yeah, so I realize we have like a giant stove here, but that's going in tomorrow finally. But yeah, this looks really nice, doesn't it? I mean, I'm trying to show this. Yeah. Man, that was... Oh, I got a lot of gifts here to give. It was really terrible before. Now it's just really nice to look at. And there's like a sense of togetherness, right? Okay, well, that's that's gonna be the last bit of my video. I hope you enjoyed my story. Don't forget to subscribe. And, yeah, look forward to more Christmas content coming in the next few days. And if you love my wrapping skills, then make sure to leave a comment and let me know. See ya.